Jubilees. This is the history of the division of the days of the law and of the testimony, of the events of the years, and of their periods of 7, and of their jubilees throughout all the years of the world, as the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai when he went up to receive the tablets of the law and of the command, according to the voice of God, as he said to him, "Go up to the top of the mountain." Chapter 1. It came to pass in the first year of the exodus of the sons of Israel out of Egypt, in the 3rd month, on the 16th day of the month, that God spoke to Moses, saying, "Come up to me on the mountain, and I will give you 2 tablets of stone, of the law and of the command, which I have written, that you may teach them." And Moses went up into the mountain of God, and the glory of the Lord abode on Mount Sinai, and the cloud overshadowed it for 6 days. And he called to Moses on the 7th day out of the midst of the cloud. And the appearance of the glory of the Lord was like a flaming fire on the top of the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. And God taught him the earlier and the latter history of the division of all the days of the law and of the testimony. And he said, "Incline your heart to every word which I will speak to you on this mountain, and write them in a scroll, in order that their generations may see how I have not forsaken them for all the evil which they have worked in transgressing the covenant which I established between me and you for their generations this day on Mount Sinai." And thus it will come to pass, when all these things come on them, that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments, in all their actions, and they will recognize that I have truly been with them. And write for yourself all these words which I declare to you this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying to your seed, I will give a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from any of their tribulation. And this witness will be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commands, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the nations, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods, and these will prove to them an offense, and a tribulation, and affliction, and a snare. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commands, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Sabbaths, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my dwelling place, and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name on it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons, and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses to them, that I may witness against them. But they will not hear, and will slay the witnesses also. And they will persecute those who seek the law, and they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hands of the nations for captivity, and for a prey, and for devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them among the nations, and they will forget all my law, and all my commands, and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons, and Sabbaths, and festivals, and jubilees, and ordinances. And after this, they will turn to me from among the nations with all their heart, and with all their soul, and with all their strength. And I will gather them from among all the nations, and they will seek me, so that I will be found by them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. And I will disclose to them abounding peace and with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul. And they will be for a blessing and not for a curse. and they will be the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them. And I will be their God, and they will be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them nor fail them, for I am the Lord their God. And Moses fell on his face and prayed and said, O Lord my God, do not forsake your people or your inheritance, so that they should wander in the error of their hearts, and do not deliver them into the hands of their enemies, the nations, lest they should rule over them, and cause them to sin against you. Let your mercy, O Lord, be lifted up on your people, and create an upright spirit in them, and do not let the spirit of Baal rule over them, to accuse them before you, and to ensnare them from all the paths of righteousness, so that they may perish from before your face. But let your people and your inheritance, which you have delivered with your great power from the hands of the Egyptians, create in them a clean heart and a holy spirit, and do not let them be ensnared in their sins from now on and forever. And the Lord said to Moses, I know their contrariness, and their thoughts, and their stubbornnesses, and they will not be obedient until they confess their own sin and the sin of their fathers. And after this they will turn to me in all uprightness, and with all their heart, and with all their soul. And I will circumcise the foreskin of their heart, and the foreskin of the heart of their seed. And I will create in them a holy spirit, and I will cleanse them, so that they will not turn away from me from that day and continuously. And their souls will cleave to me into all my commands. And they will fulfill my commands, and I will be their father, and they will be my children. And they will all be called children of the living God. And every messenger and every spirit will know, yes, they will know that these are my children, and that I am their father in uprightness and righteousness, and that I love them. And write down for yourself all these words which I have declared to you on this mountain, the first and the last, which will come to pass in all the divisions of the days in the law, and in the testimony, and in the periods of 7, and in the Jubilees continuously, that I descend and dwell with them forever, until I descend and dwell with them forever. And he said to the messenger of the presence, write for Moses, from the beginning of the creation until my sanctuary has been built among them for all ages. And the Lord will appear to the eyes of all, and all will know that I am the God of Israel, and the Father of all the children of Jacob, and King of Mount Zion for all ages. And Zion and Jerusalem will be holy. And the messenger of the presence who went before the camp of Israel took the tablets of divisions of the years, from the time of the creation of the law and of the testimony of the periods of 7, of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, according to all the numbers of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, from the day of the new creation, when the heavens and the earth will be renewed, and all their creation according to the powers of the heavens, and according to all the creation of the earth, until the sanctuary of the Lord will be made in Jerusalem on Mount Zion. And all the luminaries are renewed for healing, and for peace, and for blessing for all the chosen of Israel. And that thus it may be from that day into all the days of the earth.